My heart is inditing a good matter. I speak of the things which I have made touching the king. My tongue is the pen of a ready writer. Thou art fairer than the children of men. Grace is poured into thy lips. Therefore God hath blessed thee forever. Gird thy sword upon thy thigh, O most mighty, with thy glory and thy majesty. And in thy majesty ride prosperously because of truth and meekness and righteousness. And thy right hand shall teach the terrible things. Thine arrows are sharp in the heart of the king's enemies, whereby the people fall under thee. Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. The scepter of thy kingdom is a right scepter. Thou lovest righteousness, and hatest wickedness. Therefore God, thy God, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. All thy garments smell of myrrh, and aloes, and cassia, out of the ivory palaces, whereby they have made the glad. King's daughters were among thy honorable women. Upon thy right hand did stand the queen in gold of Ophir. Hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thine ear. Forget also thine own people, and thy father's house. So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty. For he is thy Lord, and worship thou him. And the daughter of Tyre shall be there with a gift. Even the rich among the people shall entreat thy favor. The king's daughter is all glorious within. Her clothing is of wrought gold. She shall be brought unto the king, in raiment of needlework. The virgins her companions, that follow her shall be brought unto thee. With gladness and rejoicing shall they be brought. They shall enter into the king's palace. Instead of thy fathers shall be thy children, whom thou mayest make princes in all the earth. I will make thy name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore shall the people praise thee forever and ever. Psalm 45 is introduced as a love song, or Shir Yedidoth in Hebrew, composed by the sons of Korah, but it quickly becomes clear that this is no ordinary wedding song. The king it describes is majestic, eternal, and righteous, and the language goes beyond human royalty into the heavenly and prophetic. Over the next minutes, we'll explore Psalm 45 as both a celebration of kingship and a divine preview of Christ and his bride. The church, my heart is stirred by a noble theme, ... The psalmist begins with overflowing emotion, as if the beauty of what he sees must be expressed. His tongue is like a skillful pen. This poetic opening reminds us that true worship begins in the heart. It also sets the tone. What follows is inspired, elevated, and majestic, something more than historical. You are the most excellent of men ... God has blessed you forever. The king is described in exalted terms, graceful speech, power, majesty, and truth. In verses 3 to 5, he is portrayed as a divine warrior, riding out for justice and humility. But verse 6 shifts everything. Your throne, O God, is forever and ever. This verse is directly quoted in Hebrews 1 to 8, referring to Jesus Christ. So we see clearly this is no ordinary king. This is a messianic psalm, pointing directly to the eternal reign of Christ. You love righteousness and hate wickedness. The king's rule is founded on righteousness. God anoints him with the oil of joy, setting him above all others. In the New Testament, Jesus is described in the same way, ruling with justice, truth, and grace. These verses form the foundation of New Testament Christology. Jesus as the eternal king, not just in heaven, but on earth, reigning through his spirit and word. All your robes are fragrant with myrrh and aloes and cassia. This section paints a picture of royal splendor, where music, fragrance, and celebration surround the king. Myrrh and aloes are also associated with Christ's death and burial, hinting again at deeper layers. The palace scenes represent the heavenly throne room, where worship never ceases. At your right hand is the royal bride in gold of Ophir. Now the camera shifts to the bride. She is noble, radiant, and honored. This is more than a royal wedding, it's a symbol of the church, made pure and glorious by the king. Verses 10 to 11 call her to leave her old life and fully devote herself to the king. This mirrors the church's calling to leave the world and cleave to Christ, her bride. The princess is all glorious within. The imagery here describes the church in her full glory, adorned and honored as she enters the presence of the king. Revelation 19 describes a similar scene, the wedding supper of the Lamb. Psalm 40 thus becomes a prophetic declaration of the coming union of Christ and his bride, a celebration of purity, covenant, and eternal joy. I will perpetuate your memory through all generations. The psalm ends by affirming that this king's name will be remembered forever, a truth fulfilled in Jesus, whose name is above every name. Kings of old have come and gone, but Christ reigns eternally. The praise of the king will continue forever and ever, just as this song of love prophesies.